That's what I'm saying. I think it could push to Friday if there's more. But that's why they have that built-in Friday, so if they do have weather.
Or we might have to play doubleheader on Thursday.
I just really want to watch anime. When are you leaving? I need to call the cable probably. Oh yeah, you know. I can sit here. I mean, they have a ton of guys that are fun. I have 2 stories.
It's great. Yeah. Columbus puts those.
You thought they were going to grow?
What?
On Florida State's conference? Yeah, because you get a thing.
Oh, yeah.
What? Editing on him? If it's not going to start with very just about it. Oh, that will be the same. So he writes the in-game story and then you like just post about it, kind of like the game, but then you basically turn it into the story after. So you can follow it. And then I can
Gets in here tomorrow. He's not.
Grace. Not confirmed. Switch it. So that's what it is. Closes it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I will. No, I'll let you know.
It's really thankful, man. You guys are most thankful about this. We need to. So they kind of do. They should probably get that off the front page. There I say. They're done.
Luke. Sorry. What? Yeah, no. Yeah.
Nathan, oh no. Kill me. How long is that waiting for? Don't say it. Kill me. 5 hours.
No.
6. 4. In Colorado.
They have places where you can just put your snowboard in.
Really? Is this the same alert they sent out for the school shooting? Yeah.
This is a vital thing to tweet.
Yeah, that's wild.
The photo
That's wild. Look at this tweet show. He really
It's not really summer force.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
I'm really
Kid.
yeah.
Oh, well, look at this. All clear, all clear. Resume normal
Oh, wow.
activities. Okay. Where'd you get that email? I don't know if it's right. Did she get there? I didn't know. Where was it?
Yeah, I got all due respect to the LGBTQ plus. So yeah, I got all their hugging if you need it. Casey Cook very involved in the hugging.
I'll write that down.
Loving up Jake Knapp, very big. Makes you think he wouldn't be coming back. There's a lot of it, like he was standing there, and there's a lot of the guys coming up because he's so big. And like getting, I kind of want.
Do you think Casey's doing this stuff?
He was involved in a lot of it. At one point, it was 8, 18, 23, 25, 51, 42.
It's a big.
They didn't really matter.
I've seen that.
The big guys, Stevenson, Casey, 10. Later, you had D'Onofrio, Casey, and Madera all arm in arm. 10 was chest to chest hugging Casey. Full on. Do you think I should go out there and see what they're doing? I just said this.
Sorry. We could have grabbed you one.
I think I should be running back out there right now.
We're first, though, right?
Yes. I'm way more nervous for this than I was.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. If you could give us a opening statement about today's game.
Great team across the field. Did a great job this year in our league, won the league, and they're a phenomenal team. So the quality of that team explains how well these guys executed today to win that game on this stage. They're dangerous. They have just a variety of arms out of the bullpen that they can use, and we saw basically all of them. And at this time of the year, everybody's bullpen's been weathered a little bit. So I know that both sides, those guys have delivered for them all season. And Armstrong got us into that, had a little tweak there that he was able to work his way through and used the changeup well, kept the fastball down. There was a lot of weak contact today. I thought our defense did a really nice job of managing the ground balls and things that came up. Really nice 3-1, the 4-6-3. Cam had a couple nice plays at third. Pick at first base was a big moment in the game when Holtz picked off Honeycutt, I think it was. And then the 5-4 in the ninth looks like nothing, but if you try to make more out of that, that wasn't going to be a double play ball. So just to make sure you contain that and get one out, just kind of contains the momentum. Both fifth innings were really good. The at-bats we had, our left-handed hitters hung in there beautifully on Pence. He's tough on the lefties. I think it's Pence. And our lefties were on it. And then if you're going to score in this situation, in this tournament, you're going to have to do some of it with 2 outs because the ability to string it together with no outs or 1 out is just hard to do because of the quality of the arm and the execution and just the overall talent. So the left-handed hitter at-bats in the middle of the game and then some of the 2-out hitting was big. And we walked today 8 times, maybe 7 or 8 got hit, I think. But we never really could separate. And then you feel like today's the day the home run's probably minimal. Jackson's at bat had a great ball game for us, and then Max to hit one through that 30-mile-an-hour wind. I didn't know it could be done, but he did it. Holt's response, 4+ innings, amazing. And he told me we were going to the 9th. He comes in the dugout after they don't even think about it. And there were some other words mixed in there. So I'm so happy for him. And it's hard to walk off that field the way it went on Friday night. You guys all saw it, know it. And he really answered. Both of these left-handers really did a nice job. And Whitaker's been so good for us. And we mapped it out. And sometimes you get to the situation where you line it up the way you want to line it up. And it doesn't always go the way you want it, especially against teams that are this talented and players with those capabilities. So Holtzy to come in and finish the 5th and just roll with it. Just a phenomenal testament to his toughness and resolve to deliver.
Great. Thank you, Coach. We'll open questions right now for the student athletes.
Mark Garland, College Baseball Central. Jackson, it felt like all postseason you've just been poised and waiting for an offensive game like this, and then you bust out and finally have a big one here on this stage. Can you tell us a little bit about how that feels and just being able to catch Andrew, too, and how well he worked the ball early?
Feels amazing, being able to contribute, especially as an offense like this, being in the 9-hole. Your job just to get on base, and set the table. So that's all I was really focusing on, not trying to do too much. And, catching Army, man, he's one of the toughest guys I've ever played with. And, he wasn't feeling too well today, but he gutted it out for us. And that's just who he is and what he does. And, I couldn't be more proud of him.
Questions for student athletes? Right here.
Andrew, just first of all, how were you feeling? What did you have to work through today? And what was your approach against this UNC lineup? Wilson Moore, Omaha World Herald.
Yeah, it was just like a little oblique something going on in there. I dealt with it in the fall and in the preseason. It hasn't bothered me in a while, but flared up today pretty bad. And I don't know, I was just trying to throw strikes, get ahead with the way the wind's blowing in today. Sometimes that's all you have to do. And I felt like the changeup really worked. It was keeping them off the fastball and everything else. So great defense behind me, making plays. This makes it easy for me.
66er.
66er. That's what Coach taught me this morning.
How about that? We didn't use it really.
Questions for the student athletes? Great. Sam, sorry.
Connor, it seems like you used the fastball a lot more today. Just how big was that for you to keep them off the breaking balls?
Yeah, it was definitely probably the biggest component in my outing today. Being able to locate the fastball in any count was new to my game. I haven't done it in a few weeks. I mean, it's there, but me and Coach Posey have been talking about it. We're going to mix in some more fastballs, mix in some more changeups, start getting the hitters off the curveball. When I was able to locate some fastballs and then expand on my off speed when needed, it definitely worked out in our favor. So,
last two questions for the players right here. Then
Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. Jackson, this is for you. Since the Super Regional starts, you guys have averaged, I think, 12.2 runs a game. Of course, your offense was probably pretty good all year, but it's really clicking now. Why?
I think we've done a better job as an offense, kind of putting together better at-bats. There was some times in the season where we were having quick at-bats, not really giving these guys what they need. Our identity as an offense is just continuing to scratch and claw, and we've kind of morphed into that, and I think it's kind of just continuing to grow. So we've just been running with that, and I think that's been a big contribution to our success.
Okay, last question for the students.
Matt Talmy from World Baseball Network. Jackson hitting a huge home run in the ninth inning, going back-to-back with Williams. What's it mean to just have that type of offense for you guys this season, even dating back to August for the fall season?
I mean, it's everything, This is the best 8 teams in the country, and all these teams can do just about everything, and being able to slug it with the best of them definitely helps. It takes pressure off these guys. So we're just trying to do our job and set the table and kind of give these guys a good cushion to pitch with, with these offenses. So.
Players, thank you very much. Congrats on the victory again.
Thank you.
Micah slid the scouting report under my door at 2 in the morning to know how hard he worked on that. 2 o'clock.
Okay, we'll open it for questions for Coach now. We'll start from right here.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. In a CWS where runs have been a little bit at a premium, why has your offense been able to travel well and do what it's done these 3 games?
They seem very focused. They're talented. Our assistant coaches do a really good job of giving them an idea of what's going on with each arm. Like I said, Micah, he slid the scouting report for North Carolina under my door at 2 o'clock in the morning. He worked on it that hard. And then Ty and Brad and some of our other staff put together video and other things. So those guys are doing some work that allows the hitters to feel comfortable when they walk up there. And that's not easy to do. And you just had to run through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arms, all different, all really good. And when you see the information that's handed to the kids, it's not over the top, it's accurate, and it gives them a heads up. So that's part of it. And that's a new phase of the game with all the technology and the information that you have, is how do you condense it and allow it to be something in the dugout they can use. It's hard to go through with the team in a scouting report meeting the 13 arms they have available. So we'll touch on a few, but they have the video access to glance at some of the stuff, and then the black and white information that's in the dugout helps. We have a nice mix of left, right-handed hitter. I don't think it's easy to game plan and match up when we stagger it the way we do. There's length in the lineup. Some of those young guys, this is a young group. It's a young group. Sophomore, junior, junior, sophomore, senior, sophomore. So they're still learning. So I think the growth throughout the course of 60 games, they're just getting better. And, the focus, the talent, the information, the improvement, the maturity, the toughness of the overall team. You walk because pitchers fear making mistakes. So you have to be then disciplined enough not to swing at everything to give your opportunity count-wise to actually walk or get hit. So it was a combination of everything today, and that's really been our story all year. We have a lot of different ways that we can be a good offensive team.
Questions for Coach? Right over here.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. Curious about your thoughts about getting another shot at Tennessee, obviously, especially with the way the game transpired on Friday night and kind of the fireworks back and forth there.
Can't wait. They're really good. They're really good. And I've dealt with that program at their place in the Super in 22. Thought it was one of the most talented college baseball teams I'd ever seen. And this one's right there in that same conversation. That game was very close to being pendulum swung our way, and it did not. It's tough. I'll just say the response of these guys after how difficult that was, and for this kid to throw over 4 innings, think about how he felt up until he probably threw a few pitches in this game. I can't imagine what that was like. So they're ready. We'll figure out the pitching. If anybody wants to ask me who's starting, just save it because I don't know. We'll figure it out. But they're really, really good. There's no wiggle room in the lineup. They have a variety of arms. They're talented. They've been here. They've played in this stadium a lot. So excited. I recognize the difficulty of beating that team. It takes everything you got. You have to finish. You have to defend. You have to execute pitches. And you have to be versatile and complete offensively to figure out a way to do it.
Okay, we've got 2 more. One right there and one right there.
Connor basically pitched backwards to the way that he pitched all year. Just to see him make that adjustment and execute it on this stage, just what was that like for you?
Micah Posey knew what he had to do, and sometimes plan A isn't the plan that can get you through it. And when you get enough information on pitchers, you know the percentages. You guys probably all know it. There's a tendency for him to lean on that breaking ball, and it's really good. It spins as well as any breaking ball in the big leagues. But these hitters, once they've seen it and the scouting report information, that probably alone isn't enough. And when you're coaching the game, like Mike is calling the pitches, he's playing the game. Like it's Nintendo of I'm trying to dial this correctly for them. Now they have to execute it. So he takes ownership in the fact that sometimes what you wanted to do or that player has done for most of the year may not be the script that allows you to get through a championship type game in this setting. And the fastball usage was beautiful. He threw a changeup and got a fly ball to right. Micah was disappointed in how that looked, but fine. He mixed the fastball in, and then it changes how you view that breaking ball that comes up and has such bite when you can stuff one in there at 90 miles an hour, really to either side of the plate. So great job by Holtz and gutsy by Micah to go to that plan B in this setting. Brilliant.
Okay, last question right there.
Link, Brady Oltmans from the Orlando Sentinel. You talked about Holt stepping up, and after the way that pitching staff, the way that the game ended on Friday or against Tennessee, now you come back, get early leads, and are able to hold the last 2 teams away. What have you seen of your pitching staff since that first Tennessee game that might have turned the corner?
I guess you can just say overall pitch execution. And, I had a bad feeling all of a sudden when we had a pitch clock violation out of nowhere when Holt stood behind the mound and we're like, guys, what's he doing? Let's go. And we end up walking that guy. Like, I think Oxford kind of uncharacteristically walked, right? Didn't he walk somebody in that Friday night thing that kind of got it going a little bit for them? So I had a little of a feeling of this ain't happening again, but I think the overall pitch execution simply was better. The stuff good. I thought the stuff the other night was good. Now Holtz, when you hang that breaking ball and then it was belt higher and it gets whacked into left center field, he didn't do that today. So I just think it's purely the execution of good stuff.
Coach, thank you very much and best of luck tomorrow. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on a great year. If you could give us this little opening statement about today's game.
Yeah, Florida State's got a really good team. At the end of the day, they played better than we did today. You have to tip your cap to them. A really, really good lineup, two top, probably 15 picks. But we battled. We battled all year. It didn't surprise me that we made a run back there. Just didn't get it done. It's not easy to talk this time, when the season ends. I've been out here at the end of the day. There's only one team that's happy when the dust settles out here in Omaha. But I told the guys in the locker room, the word that came to my mind was proud, just because they should be proud of what they've done this entire season. They've worked since August. They've stayed together. They've pulled hard for one another. They gave our fans so much to be passionate about, so much to look forward to. Our fans were awesome. I'm just proud of Carolina baseball, where it is, but that's a credit to our players in that locker room this year and all the support that this program has. I'm proud to be the leader of the program. But, man, these guys, I'm just so thankful that they took me along this ride with them.
Thank you. Open questions right here for the student athletes first.
Ariel Bonham, Tar Tribune. Fans down 6 runs. You guys showed a lot of heart. Can you talk about that, starting with your home run in that big inning?
Yeah, that's just kind of how this team's been all year. There's just no quit. That's a credit to, how we're trained, how we're coached, and the character of the guys in the locker room.
Question.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central. Vance, this team had a ton of memorable moments along the way. What's one that really stood out to you this year?
It's hard to put your finger on just one. Probably a Sunday win at, Miami or UVA or State, or, coming back from losing the first game at Duke, winning the series, just things like that kind of just really defines this team, I guess, when everyone else is counting us out, just being able to kind of battle and play for each other.
Adam Smith with Inside Carolina. Casey, how would you sum up this ride that you guys have been on this season to get to this point? And also the end there, you guys, kind of stayed around the dugout for a while and I guess kind of were taking it in a little bit. Just what was that like, the season and then the ending?
Yeah, it was an unbelievable season. You guys saw it. We had one of the best teams in the country, and our end goal was to win this whole thing. But we came down here, and I think the postseason sums it up. We didn't hit like we necessarily wanted to. We knew we were capable of doing more, but we found a way. We found a way, and then we didn't get it done. But I think that just shows what kind of team we had this year. We were a close-knitted team, and everyone was pulling for each other, and good things happened. But at the end of the day, we didn't get what we wanted. But I have zero regrets, and I know this team has zero regrets because we wanted it. We all did. So I mean, there's nothing to hang your head on because, we gave it all we had. We did everything in our power to win, and it just didn't work out.
Grace Nugent, Inside Carolina. Vance, Casey, just what did this experience mean to you playing with these guys on this stage and what might be some of your last college games?
Yeah, we say it day one. The goal is to win a national championship. Yeah, it starts with getting out here in Omaha. You don't want it to end, but if it does, then you want it to be out here. And we're very fortunate to have had that. These experiences with these guys and this team. You won't forget it. Just to be able to continue playing continue to play the sport you love. With the guys that you want to be around every single day, and you have been. So just it's special to be able to be out here and to share these moments with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, just like what Van said, we came into school together, so we've been playing with each other for 3 years, and that's what it's all about. Like, these are my best friends, and if I wanted a season to end anywhere, I'd want it to be in Omaha, and doing it with your best friends is even more special. So, like I said earlier, we didn't get what we wanted, but I'm happy I can be here with the guys. I kind of grew up playing with. So.
Any other questions? One last question for the players right here.
Casey, you were mentioning it there. I mean, you've been playing beside Vance for several years now. What's it like, seeing him play on a day-to-day basis, and just some of these special things that he's done across the course of his career?
I mean, yeah, you guys see he's a great leader. He plays hard. He plays to win. You never hear him talk about himself because he's not concerned about that. He's concerned about winning, and it's contagious. And playing outfield next to him makes my job easy. I didn't have to cover much ground, so that was nice. But more so for the team, it's contagious. It spreads. He's a winner. He wants to win, and he's a big reason why we're here. So it was a pleasure for me. It was a pleasure for the whole team.
Casey, Vance, thank you very much. Congrats on the great year, and thank you for what you guys do for college baseball. We'll open for questions for Coach. First question right here.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway from Gannett. Coach, how tough was that top of the ninth inning to swallow? I mean, you have a 2-run game, and it seemed like the wind shifted, and they got a couple of balls up in the jet stream there.
Yeah, I mean, the first one I just thought he got up in that jet stream. And then the next one, the guy hit a mistake, and that's what good hitters do. I thought he hit that one. I thought that would have been out anywhere. Obviously, we felt like we were in striking distance, but this team still, they came in, talking about getting the tying run to the plate. That word belief is extremely important, and having faith. And there was no doubt in my mind we get the tying run, something crazy was going to happen. Unfortunately, it just didn't.
Okay, we're going to go one here and two. It's right up here.
Obviously, Dalton had an amazing run, 14 and a third shutout innings. What was it today? Just baseball? Just didn't have his best stuff?
Yeah, I feel like he couldn't get that cutter where he wanted to throw it. But man, like, golly, talking about a kid that we wouldn't be here without him, and he's just human, and you have to give Florida State some credit too. I really thought, it's no offense to any of the teams we played all year, I thought top to bottom, that was the most balanced offense, left, right, left, speed, power, and they made Dalton pay for some mistakes, but he sure was getting after it, and they just got some hits.
Emma Moon, Daily Tar Heel. Coach, with this just being one of your most successful seasons as head coach, ACC regular season championship, making it to the College World Series, what has this year meant to you, and what has it meant to do it with this team?
I mean, to be bluntly honest with you, I changed the lens through how I coached a couple years ago, and I give all that credit to having faith in Jesus Christ, and it's all about relationships for me. So it's not about me. It's not about me getting the team to Omaha. It's about the team getting to Omaha and the program and the former players. So that's what I'm most disappointed in is I don't get to put the uniform on again tomorrow with my team. I don't get to see all the former players that are out here. And then the longer you do it, you just realize those relationships, and that brings you just pure joy. I mean, it's hard when you lose like that. But we talk about it all the time. Even if you win a national championship, where's your joy coming from? And I think these guys know where that comes from, and it comes from creating those memories that, and having those relationships that you're never going to lose. So it means a lot for our program more. The program's way bigger than me. The university's bigger than me, and the players are way much. They're the ones that make the program. So for me, I'm just so happy that they got to experience Omaha, and we got a lot of young guys that I'm hoping can help all these other guys that, come back to UNC and come in, that they can also experience Omaha.
Last 3 questions. 1, 2, 3.
Coach Forbes, Eric Sorensen from D1 Baseball. You've been here before, obviously, as an assistant a couple times, and just the road you guys took this year was there's so much drama and it was so bizarre. What was different about this team? You probably touched on it a little bit, but what was different about this team that made them overcome, like the LIU game, the LSU game, and the Super Regional and all that?
If I had to put my finger on one thing, it would just be selfless. Just guys really pull for one another. And that can be hard sometimes because everybody wants to play at this level and everybody's talented. And you look at that lineup card and your name's not in it, how are you going to react? But it's a powerful, we talk about how corny the word love is, but I tell the guys all the time, like, that needs to be the backbone of everything we do here. If you really care about each other and you really love one another, you're going to be competitive and you want to be in the lineup. But I think these guys wanted it so bad for each other. And that is such a powerful thing. And all of our teams, that was something that a lot of our teams have had that have made it out here, that camaraderie. It's never perfect. But that would be what I would say, just a selfless group that they had one mission. They believed in us as coaches when we talked to them about, like, hey, the most important thing is everybody's on the same mission and everybody's pulling in the same direction. If you do that, you have a chance to have a special season. And they decided to do that, and we had a special season.
Mike.
Mike LaPresse, NCAA.com. Every coach probably has had to do the thing you did after that game where you walk down the dugout afterwards and you're shaking hands with everybody, including some people who just played their last game for you. How hard for you personally are those moments?
They're difficult for sure. But if you really step back and think about it, they're difficult because you care so much about them and they care so much about each other. So, but it's hard because you just, personally, I just care about the guys and I hate to see them hurting. I've been in their shoes. It was only a Division III World Series, but to me that was a big deal. And we lost out there, and I've seen, the locker room with the other guys to see their hurt. But there's also so much joy, again, that word that goes into just being with the guys. And we talked about, hey, like they said it, if you're going to have to shed some tears, you would rather share them in Omaha than share them somewhere else. So we're thankful that we got out here.
Your last question right here.
Scott, how would you describe what you've seen from Vance Honeycutt the last couple of years, and also the way he showed up out here in Omaha?
From just his ability, I always use the word electric. That's just what he is. He's electric. And, he is the definition of a leader. He has integrity. He works. He puts winning first. And he's also just a kid. And he plays like that. And he plays free and easy. And, man, I'm going to just miss watching. I'm going to miss not just watching him play. I'm going to just miss seeing him every single day. But, man, he is something else, isn't he? He was one of the best I've ever coached.
Coach, once again, thank you. You had a great year, and thank you for your time.
Thank y'all.
Thanks to everybody. Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.